What's going on YouTube? It's just my opinion, and I'm back today for another music review. Pusha T's Daytona. Yes, I know I'm fucking late. I also plan on doing Yay and Kids See Ghosts. I've been busy, and yes, I will also be talking the Pusha T and Drake beef in this video as well. Now, Pusha T is a coke rapper and one half of the group The Clips that got popular in the early 2000s. When they split up, him and Malice, Pusha T signed to Good Music and is now actually the CEO of Good Music. Now, this project had a lot of hype, but not necessarily because of just Pusha T. This was the first of 5 different albums that Kanye West tweeted about, stating that he was going to be releasing all throughout the end of May to the end of June. And he actually delivered. This was just 7 tracks though, very short. 23 minutes. Kanye West produced the entire album, something that he has not done for another artist in a long time now. There was also more buzz around this, of course, about the beef, which we'll talk about in a minute, but also because of the album cover, in which they took a photo of Whitney Houston, what her bathroom looked like, I guess, where she died. Had a lot of controversy around that. And the album starts out well with If You Know, You Know, a standout track of mine. Pusha, of course, just coming in straight with the coke raps, but doing a great job with his wordplay, menacing flow. And Kanye West did a great job on the production on this, with the vocal samples on point and the very high-pitched guitar in there as well. It just fit very well for Pusha T, and the song is actually very catchy and a very good track off the album. Then we get The Games We Play, which of course the content stays the same on this song, but basically throughout the entire album. Kanye does another good job at picking a good beat for Pusha to rap over. Love the smooth soul sample in there. Sounds very luxurious, and I like the horns. We then get Hard Piano, which is easily my favorite track on the entire album. Just has a very luxurious sound to it as far as the production wise, very dreamy classic pianos, and the beat hits hard as fuck. The sampled hook, the vocal hook, sounds absolutely amazing. Also features Rick Ross on it, which I think he fit in like a glove, did a great job on his verse. But Pusha T though, did a great job on this. Loved his wordplay on this one. It's too rare amongst all this pink hair. Yeah! We then get Come Back Baby, which I think Pusha does a good job over the production. I like the Yin Yang Twins and the Tesla lines in there. It was kind of funny. But this sounded more like a freestyle than it did anything else. And I think it's because this was one of the worst beats production-wise on the entire project. It was just super simple, very lazily done in my opinion. Probably the worst beat on the album. We then get Santeria, which again, Pusha T still coming with the drug raps, but this is an interesting track because of the beat switch ups. It starts off with this mellow beat with these beautiful guitars, but then it starts to transition with this Spanish sample, and then it goes into this dark, grimy boom bap production. Then we get What Would Meek Do featuring Kanye West. This is a standout of mine. Beat is just hard as hell. It's definitely the most radio mainstream friendly production, has that trap flair to it. Pusha T comes in, great job on his verse. Kanye, I was a little bit worried about at first, still trying to make Scoop-de-Poo a thing, but his verse was just alright. It was alright. And finally, the album closes out with Infrared, probably one of the more underwhelming beats on the entire project, but it was more so what Pusha T said on this track that had the internet stirring. Of course, he made shots at Lil Wayne and at Birdman over the label situation, but then he made a shot at Drake. It was written by Nas, but it came from Quentin. So that was really the starter to the beef. So let me just get my in conclusion out of the way now. It was a short, concise project. Pusha T did what Pusha T does. And Kanye actually delivered on what he said he was going to do. And the production was actually pretty dope. And he also picked good production for Pusha T on this one. So I overall give this a 6 out of 10. Now let's talk about the Drake and Pusha T beef, please. Me and My fellow podcaster John for our channel, The Plug Podcast, talked about this also in a little bit more detail as well. Definitely check out the links in the description below for the Plug Podcast so you could find it. So some background on this. Pusha T has actually been beefing with the Cash Money crew for years now. Started back in the day with Birdman because on the song What Happened to That Boy that Birdman did featuring the Clips, Birdman allegedly never paid the Neptunes and Pharrell to use his beat. So automatically right there, beef starts. Somehow Drake got involved in this, I think just being affiliated with the Young Money, Cash Money crew. They've been throwing subliminals at each other for years, the two of them. So after Infrared dropped, Drake actually put out a response track the exact same day as Daytona's release. It was called Duppy Freestyle. Immediately on the track, he brought Ye into it. You talk about me and my ghostwriting. I've done things for Ye as far as writing goes. He also talks about how Pusha T's not top 5 in his own label. His career is fading. He also brings Malice. He mentions Malice's name and also brings back the drug dealing past, questions it, as there have been interviews that Malice has done stating that both him and Pusha didn't really deal the drugs. It was their cousins that dealt the drugs. He also addressed the Quentin Miller aspect where he said, yeah, I helped the guy out just like I help everybody out. And he states that the beef is not worth his time. I'm reviving your career by even doing this. Send Ye an invoice. He posted an Instagram invoice stating career revitalizing to good music. Overall, it was actually a very, very good response by Drake, and I think Drake did a good job at his response, but it was the line that he said, and it wasn't even a good line, about Pusha T's wife, Virginia Williams, that Pusha T said, this is crossing the line, I'm coming back at you. When he responded back, drops the story of Adidon a couple days after Drake's response, which immediately, before the track even starts, Drake takes a huge L for the cover art of the story of Adidon, which is a photo that Pusha T somehow dug up from 2008 back in Drake's acting days, where Drake is posing in a photo wearing blackface as a black man. The photographer of the photo has already confirmed, yes, I did this. This was all Drake's idea. I'm proud of the work that I've done. So Drake actually responded to this aspect of the diss in which he posted an Instagram story response. Starts off by saying, I know everybody's enjoying the circus, which is perhaps the biggest leave me the fuck alone response that I could possibly think of. Basically stating in the response that him and his friend at the time, they were both young actors doing this to portray, I guess, what the stereotypes in which the acting industry portrays black actors to be. In a way, and I guess he was trying to stand up against that by doing these photos. I mean, I'm not gonna say if this is the truth or not. If this is the truth, it's the truth, it's whatever, but I don't see how this photo does not hurt his credibility at all. It's humiliating, it's disturbing, it's just really creepy to look at. I don't even want to look at it. So then Pusha T goes in over the story of OJ beat, ghostwriting aside, drug dealing aside. Let's have a heart-to-heart about your pride. You. Let's talk about you as a man, which sets up the entire rest of the way. Takes another little shot as far as baby splitting the pie, but then it gets serious when he says, your father walked out on you on 5, hell of a dad thing. And he also brings in his mom as well, making fun of his mom for not getting remarried, talking about she's always coming in last place, which is cold. But hey, it's fair game now. You brought his family into it. And he also attacks Drake's blackness where he says, afraid to grow your fro because it wouldn't nap enough. But then the real shock factor sets in. Pusha T makes claims that Drake is a deadbeat dad, that he is hiding a son from the world named Adonis, actually name drops the name of his son, states that he deserves more than an Adidas press run. also talks about the potential baby mama, which he mentions her name as being Sophie. It has now come out that she used to be a softcore porn star, which he addresses on the track as well. And the whole backstory on this is that allegedly Drake got this porn star pregnant, has been hiding it because he had parted ways from Nike to do a deal with Adidas. He announced that last year at some point. And allegedly it was supposed to be coming out this summer, and the actual name of the line was supposed to be Adidon, which was supposed to be named after Drake's son Adonis, who he was going to announce to the world when he announced his clothing line. He also has completely kept Sophie out of everybody's radar so that she could clean up her pages and her image so that way she appears more motherly. I completely can agree with every single thing. It's already confirmed now that he has made trips to see her, and also that he has been paying child support for her. And I also believe this because Pusha T has a deal with Adidas. You done fucked up, Drake. Why on earth would you go over to Adidas knowing that you've already had problems with Pusha T? Why would you go to a clothing line where someone that you have issues with is there and has access to all this information? But then the most brutal line that I wasn't really a fan of on the whole entire thing was the attack on 40, Drake's producer, who has MS and is actually very, very sick. He's been sick for years. Although 40 did a very, very classy response to this, and he actually tweeted out, ironically, tomorrow is National MS Day, posted a link for MS, and a lot of people praised him for that. That's a very classy response by him. Now, Drake never actually responded back to the allegations about being a dad, having a baby mama with a porn star, never openly came out about any of that other stuff yet. And apparently we won't be getting another beef track from Drake, as both Jay Prince and Kanye tried to squash the beef entirely. Jay Prince, he actually told multiple sources, multiple radio interviews, that Drake had a response which would have killed Pusha T's career, and it could have gotten ugly, which I think is complete bullshit. I think that that's just a cop-out. Drake definitely lost this beef, and this is just a cop-out response to say that, hey, I don't actually have anything left in the arsenal after this. Pusha T also had stated that unless Drake responded back, he wasn't going to actually respond back either. So it appears obvious that Drake is lost. And Pusha T, to sum up the beef in its entirety, Pusha T did an outstanding job as far as handling this. I mean, he's obviously getting the most press out of this. He's getting more notoriety than ever. He was able to do something to Drake that seemed almost impossible. Drake seemed very, very untouchable in the industry. And don't get me wrong, when his album comes out, it'll still probably do great numbers, and his fans will still probably back him up, and they'll completely forget about this whole thing. But Pusha T, though, was able to do something to Drake that not a lot of people have been able to do. He's shown that he's untouchable, and he did it by attacking him the right way. He attacked Drake because when you think of Drake, everybody seems to love him, but why? Obviously, he puts out great music, and he comes across as being just a great, likable guy. You look at his God's Plan video, you look at his Nice for What video, where in God's Plan he was giving out a bunch of money to those less fortunate, and Nice for What he was empowering women. This had to be all very calculated because he did not want people knowing this information that is out about him right now. And Pusha T was able to not only expose him as being possibly a shitty person, a shitty dad, he also fucked up his Adidas run throughout the entire process, fucking up his brand. He was able to make it so that his peers and his fans could not defend against Drake. You can't defend the cover art. You cannot defend if he actually is a deadbeat dad. That is just something you can't defend as a fan or as a peer. The only way that Drake could actually still come out on top of this is either by just taking a paternity test, making sure that he is actually the dad of Adonis, And if he actually is being there for the child, showing that he isn't a deadbeat dad, showing that he is a great dad, and possibly just putting out a Jay-Z 444 type album, a great album that people love, possibly airing out more dirty skeletons in his closet, that's how he would win, in my opinion, and come out on top of all this. Either that, or he just has to beat Pusha T's ass, just fucking knock him out. Again, this was all just my opinion. What did you think of the beef? Let me know in the comments section below, and thank you for watching YouTube.